Ichak, first, it's great to be having this conversation, sharing with everyone.
Absolutely.
It's an honor to be here. And when I met you, we went to your place in California, the ranch, beautiful. As you were speaking, it's like it just triggered a soul brother who has so many different ideas and who is obsessed with bringing them to the world, and how there's such a parallel in so many ideas. And I saw about 20 of your honorary PhD degrees, and you, the preeminent person in bringing the energy and love and collaboration and respect into the business world. You've been doing this for
50 years.
50 years, right? And you have your books in how many languages?
36 languages.
36 languages, yes, wow. And you're a pretty big deal in Eastern Europe also.
Yes,
Big,
sir. Very big.
somehow, some way, that the soul, those souls just, they receive you and you communicate with them in an extraordinary way.
Yeah, because they need it. I'm bringing water to the Sahara. Because what I lecture about is what they desperately need.
And in a way that they could hear.
Me?
In a way that they could hear.
Oh, yeah.
So we talked about business, we talked about different aspects, and you said to me, listen, I do what you do in different ways. I bring energy to business, right?
Right.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Well, would you like to know how I bring energy to this?
Yeah.
Okay. I found out that the formula of success of a human being, family, business, society, and the globe is one simple formula, which is, success is a function of external integration divided by internal disintegration. When internal disintegration happens, automatically then success goes down. Now, external integration is how you integrate your capabilities with opportunities out there so that it matches. The business world is called market share. Personal life is career planning. Internal disintegration is a function of the degree of mutual trust and respect.
Say that one more time.
It's a function of how much there is mutual trust and respect.
Now, 50 years ago, how radical was that talking to companies about that?
Well, I discovered it only recently, so it's not 50 years.
Okay.
And then, but I have to tell you what it is, because people misinterpret the word trust and respect. Respect is, I'm now using Immanuel Kant, is to recognize your sovereignty, undeniable right to think differently. You don't have to be like me. Now, if you look at the human body, it's you. Every part of the body is respected by the other parts of the body. You're a kidney, be a kidney. You don't have to be a spleen.
Right?
We respect each other. And respect each other creates synergy because we learn from our differences. So one side is synergetic relationship. What is trust? Trust is when there is common interest, but there is no common interest. Trust is when you believe that the other party will reciprocate, although he is suffering in the short run. I'm asking you to do something, you say, well, it's not in my interest, but I will do it because I believe in you, you will reciprocate when I need it. Trust is when there is faith that the other party has your interest at heart as well.
And that's the basis there.
That's it.
Well, I see that as that trust of that nature is respecting the nature of the individual as a sovereign soul. And the needs.
So one is to respect his ideas, his thinking, his way of thinking, because every type that you mentioned before, PAER, different thinking, different speed of thought, different focus, we're different. To respect the differences. Now here it is done. This is a symbol of the Adizes methodology, a khamsa. In the Middle East, it's considered a blessing. Women carry it on the shoulder, on their chest, put it at the entrance to the house. You know what this is? And in every church you go, of any denomination, the saints are standing like this. What is this? Not like this, like this. You know what this is? Be different but together. This is a curse. Be different, not together. In the Middle East, when they curse you, they
That's
do
right.
this.
I always see that. That's right.
They put you in your face. They're cursing you. This is a curse. This is a blessing. Now, what I'm saying is, because of change, this is unnatural. To be together is not natural. We start together, but because of change, and we have to make decisions, and every problem that we encounter along change is testing our mutual trust and respect. Testing. So we got married over 7 years. It will go. We were partners in a company. We started a country. So this is this is natural. This is not natural. This is what we have to do. Maintenance of our relationship.
And that is energy to do that.
Absolutely. It takes energy. So the most important finger is not this one, is this one. Work with every finger.
The opposable thumb.
It makes it a hand together. Our job is tikkun olam, heal the world.
That's right.
Because the world is all the time falling apart naturally. It's called entropy. We have to work against it. We have to continuously heal the world. Maintain, you have to heal the relationship in your marriage. It's not enough, like one of my clients said, one honeymoon is not enough for a lifetime of marriage. You have to work on it. Love is not an input, love is an output. That's why we say make love. It's not talking about sex. You have to make love happen. You have to continuously work on it, because if you don't work on it, it's like a garden. Gorgeous garden, after 2 years is full with weeds.
Well, there's a story of a rabbi, and the rabbi walks over and says, Ichak, it's a beautiful garden that you and the Lord have. And then Ichak responds and says, well, you should see when the Lord had it all by himself. Okay? Because things go towards
disintegration.
That's right.
Change is a force of disintegration.
And it's instability, but instability with energy has the energy to bring us together.
Right.
So it's the collaborations of the unique aspects of each individual with enough energy that does this.
That's right.
And that feels so good. Is created by and sustained synergy.
Right. So getting to energy. When there is internal, what physics says that energy is fixed at any point in time. What I discovered is that fixed energy is predictably allocated. First, to deal with a disintegration. And only the surplus left, if any left, goes to integration.
Great.
One fight with your wife over breakfast, you're shot till noontime, you cannot work.
You lose lots of points.
You don't have energy. You don't have energy.
That's right.
Because you're sick. All the energy goes to take care of your sickness, because you cannot work. So the secret of success is to build a culture in the company of mutual trust and respect, which minimizes internal disintegration and frees all the energy for external integration.
So we are speaking the same language in all the methodologies I do. There's this bound energy in the system, which is bound up as stories, as mythology, as a culture that doesn't support growth, that doesn't acknowledge people. The bound energy could be your possessions, it could be your story, but we bind energy. And then the only way we unbind it to get the wisdom, to finally get the joy, to finally get what it is to have more energy coming in. And the second source of energy is unbound, and that's the respect. That's the love.
That's good.
And there's more energy for that. It takes a lot of energy. Life is going to take it, and it's going to take whatever you have and break it apart and disperse it, because that's what things happen. That takes a lot of force. And it takes a long time to get all those iron filings to line up with the magnetic field. But just with a moment of so much abundance of energy, through your focus, through your awareness, things
what
change.
you're saying is, to continue what you're saying, the secret of success is to diminish disintegration by increasing mutual trust and respect. Now let's go on one step more. The goal is integration. Good. What is ultimate integration? Ultimate.
Oneness with the divine.
Love.
Well, that's the means. That's it.
Love.
And love is an output.
You see, by creating mutual trust and respect. When is my disintegration dead? Love is gone. When there is no trust and no more respect. It's only a question of time. So now, what I'm saying is, look at people that are in love. They look young, shiny eyes, full with energy. Love comes, that's what you call unbounded. And look at people that hate. They look old. They lose all the energy. So, if you want your company to be successful, I'm asking you a question. How much love is in your life? How much do you love your customers? How much do you love your suppliers? How much do you love your workers? How much do you love your community? Now continue. How much do you love your dog? Well, if you love your dog, why don't you love all dogs? Why do you stop? So how much love is there? That's going to make not only you younger, it's going to make your company more successful.
It's a field of love. It's a whole field which grows.
Now, I know how to create it, and that's what I would like to share with you. Because I don't want to say, have mutual trust and respect, love each other. Bravo, how the hell do I do tomorrow morning?
Well, you're a pragmatist.
I always say, I understand now, I want to see how it works. Because good intentions will take it to hell. They pay it.
Well, you say to me, I got the idea, I got that,
But
show me exactly how. Right.
How. I work on the how until it's reproducible by my associates. I know how to build mutual trust and respect. There are 4 factors that need to happen in a family, in a business, in a society. Just consulting to the Prime Minister of Montenegro, he says, oh my God, I'm coming to your home, I want to talk to you for 2 days. Look, you need to have a common vision and values. What is a marriage about? What kind of a marriage do we have?
Right.
What are the values we have about raising children? Common vision and values. Same for a company. Next.
And that's a culture.
It's culture. It's more than a culture. The culture is the result of all the 4.
Okay.
We need to have a common vision about it. Where are we going? What do we want to do? For example, when I did Bank of America, what business are you in? What's your mission? We're a bank. I found out that bank is dead. Taking savings and giving loans. The savings and loan business is gone. And I converted them to be financial services institution, which is a totally different. So what is our mission? To provide financial services, not savings and loan. What is our mission? What are we trying to do here? And then we go into values. Well, are we going to give what's called under the table, in Mexico? It's all. What are you doing that? Are you willing to be corrupting? What's your value? Because if we don't have a common value, we're going to fight.
Right.
So in a marriage, in a company, in a country, especially when they have different ethnic groups and different religious groups, do we have common values? So we need a country that we share the same values. We don't agree on everything, but we agree on one thing, on values. That we are a democratic society, for instance. So common vision and values is one. If that doesn't exist, the rest is a story. I'll go to the last one, the most important to be the last. Process. When different people get together, they de facto speak different language. They have different energy. Do you know that they investigated babies that were born for 20 years? They followed them to see whether they can identify the style, PAI, producer, administrator, entrepreneur. Yes, you can.
Let's get for people to hear this, okay? So the 4 are
collaborative decision-making process. We need to have rules how we are going to talk together. Because you as an E, you go very fast and you look at the big picture. I as an A, I look at the details and I move much slower.
Right.
And you drive me crazy. Well, what are you're unguided missile. What the hell am I going to do with you? I don't understand what you're talking about. They don't talk the same language either.
No.
When an E says yes, he didn't say yes. He said yes. Why not? For an A, yes means yes. He says, what the hell? You said yes. Oh, you say yes. Yes. Why not? He's very flexible. You see, so we have a different time dimension. We're different.
So let's go
we're
back.
Different.
So we have the P.
Nation, not the P. I develop a whole methodology how we get together, people that are different. It's like having 4 different operating systems, and now they start talking to each other. I developed a whole methodology to do that. So we understand each other, so we can advance together. Maybe you will understand it if I tell you how I developed it by reading an article in Playboy magazine on a plane that somebody left. And there was the interview of Johnson or Master, one of these two. And they was asked the question, what's the difference between heterosexual sex and homosexual sex? You know what the difference?
What's the difference?
Very interesting. Heterosexual advances at different speeds. The man illuminates, finalizes, she's still left accumulating. Okay, she moves much slower, and the man moves much faster. Homosexual sex, they advance together. So I followed the song of Gertman and Simon says, don't walk ahead of me, I might not follow. Don't walk behind me, I might not lead. Walk beside me, be my friend. So develop rules in a meeting, how we advance together. If somebody goes too fast, they say, back in line. We must advance together. It will be like a guy who lost his legs in a war and a person that lost his eyes in the war. Now they have to cross the jungle, the forest. Everybody will advance as far as they can stop. But if they say, you can see, I can walk, get on my shoulders, and we walk. I can see, you can, no, you can see and I can walk. So
Use the gifts of each collaborator.
Right, and we put them together, but they have to advance together in the decision-making process. So collaborative decision-making process. 3, you need people that are not afraid of conflict.
Right.
If they're afraid of conflict, they command and grant respect and trust, which means mature people. You don't want immature people. Now, the most important, which is exactly what you do, that's why I admire your work so much. Really, I want to learn it, is structure. If the structure is wrong, all the other 3 are irrelevant. And develop the whole theory of what is the right structure. For instance, you should never have sales and marketing vice president, because sales is P, short term, marketing is long term. You put them together, you get a transvestite. It looks like a woman, it's a man. He's not doing marketing, he's doing sales support. So when I look at the organization chart, like you look at the body, you know everything, I look at the organization chart and I said, like I did this morning with Catalina, she was clearing the problems of the company. And I look at her chart and I said, this lady here, she's suffering a lot, right? She must be overweight and she's probably getting an ulcer. She says, how do you know? Just look at the chart. And I said, now, I restructure a company correctly, like what you do to the human body. I just move it around and the energy starts to flow. Then I provide a collaborative process.
That's the key thing. The tree of life before the tree of knowledge.
When I tell this to people in normal lectures, I say, guys, the whole field of management is poo-pooing structure. Oh no, we need, network, we need to work together, structure, hierarchy is wrong. There is a whole philosophy of these goddamn behavioral scientists who are teaching, we don't want structure. They're creating havoc. Oh, we need teamwork without structure. How the hell do you do teamwork without structure? If people don't know what their role is. Play soccer without a structure, let me see you do that. So I created structure, but I'm having a lot of resentment from the academic world, because structure, that's outdated. I say, guys, structure is it, because if it is not right, the energy gets stuck.
That's right.
And I show them where the energy gets stuck. I just splitting sales from marketing, splitting R&D from production, splitting finance from accounting, which is the biggest job I have. Takes, you won't believe how much suffering I have to do to split this bloody thing. All at once, the energy flows. Then I have to provide collaborative leadership. It's called collaborative leadership rather than leadership. Collaborative leadership. Provide, and then I use that to define a new mission and the values, new better people, and my place. Taking companies from 12 million to 4 billion.
Wow.
Just by this methodology.
And the methodology is getting energy flowing.
Absolutely.
By the collaboration between people.
By having the right structure so there is no blockages to the energy, having the right process, the Structure will work together now.
And everyone knows where they fit into that.
And they know how to work together, because structure can be silos. I have my structure, I don't work with the next guy. Now you know, it's like soccer. When I was teaching my kids soccer, little kids, when they play soccer, they all attack the ball, all together, kicking each other in the shins. Say, stop. You're on the left. If I catch you on the right, you're in trouble. You're on the right, don't you get to the left. You're at the back, don't be in the front. They learn their positions. And now what happened? They don't move. They're in their positions. I say, no, you have a position, but play together. Look at the other guy, pass the ball. So that's a collaborative process. Structure, collaborative process, common goal, common vision, mission, and values, and then I have to get the right players. If I have the right players, the right structure, the right process of decision making, and common mission and values, what else is there?
So let's talk about the right players.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's talk what. Now you have in the system, in the players, the system, you speak about the producer,
Right,
okay, and you speak about the entrepreneur,
right,
okay. You speak about the administrator,
right.
and the one that excites me the most personally of all that is the integrator.
Right.
But you need to have the others to integrate. Let's talk about what's the difference between them.
Look, first of all, and that's what I like, your advice. Because somebody already told me something, I wanted to get confirmation from you. We are born that way. The producer is driven by the, what's the name of that? Adrenaline.
Yeah, yes.
The E, the entrepreneur, is driven by the thyroid. The A is driven by the, what's the name? Another hormone. The I don't know yet. Now, we are born that way. People did research. For 20 years, they followed babies. From the day they were born for 20 years to see if they can predict their style when they were babies. Yes, you can. The entrepreneurial baby is like this. The A baby is like this, it's phlegmatic, looking at you, checking on you. The I baby and the P baby grabs your glasses and starts looking at them, how the glasses work, what are the glasses doing. Predictable.
So I'm hearing about a perception, I'm hearing about structure, I'm hearing about a behavior, all different ways of seeing the world. One is through movement, one is through holding a solid lens or structure, one is getting a new concept or idea.
You need all the four because the P gets things done. It doesn't
produces, it manages, makes sure it happens.
It doesn't like to talk about the future. Don't bug me. I don't know future.
That's a short term.
Right now, what do we need to do right now? And not bullshit, guys. He's a guy who says, shoot first, ask questions later.
Okay,
just get it done.
So I see that more here as in, the conversation we have is behavior. You just want to get it done.
Right. Get it done. He wants to get it done. Don't waste my time.
You're not looking for efficiency, just get it done.
He doesn't like meetings, it's a waste of time. He hates the integrator the most. The guy wastes so much time, touchy feelings, talking, oh my God, he hates the guy. And the I hates the P. You're impossible. Look what you're doing. What the hell? You're stepping on people. You're a bicycle rider. Bicycle rider is somebody who advances by stepping down on people. The administrator, then let's go to the entrepreneurial type. He doesn't like to talk about the past. He doesn't remember what he had for breakfast. Like Turner of CNN said, all I remember is tomorrow. He always look for the future. What am I going to do? Don't bug me even with today. What are we going to do? The dream, the vision, possibilities, that gets excited about. Okay, now, the administrator, wait a minute. How the hell are we going to do it? He looks at the details of implementation, system, and he says, you're crazy. You're going to burn the company down. What are you doing? We don't have the money. We don't have the people. Where are you going? The A is the stability. What you called it internal.
It's more of the internal stability, looking at the structure of everything.
Structure has to be organized, has to be detailed.
And wants to put the brakes on.
I wrote a letter to Amro, the new president of Mexico, And I said, open letter, I don't know whether they ever got it, but many people share it. What is a good car? Has a very good steering wheel to make changes as we move around. The world is changing, we have to steer. Has a good engine, so we move from 0 to 60, in 5 seconds, whatever. But if it doesn't have good brakes, we are going to hit the wall.
That's right.
Now, when I look at the company and say, what is the steering wheel? That guy is entrepreneur, good. Where is the producer? Come on, keep going.
So the producer just wants to step on the accelerator.
Right. And then, what is the brakes? The brakes is administrator, chief financial officer, quality control, human resources. Now, what you need to be sure is that you have the right balance. If you have too much E and not enough A, we're in trouble. Too much A and not enough E.
Now the entrepreneur wants to take the reverse out of the car.
Or he wants to kill the brakes.
He wants to kill the brakes.
Kill the brakes.
Kill the brakes, take the reverse out, take the back on the we're going ahead. But are they the biggest risk takers?
They're what?
The biggest risk
Absolutely.
takers. But so the entrepreneur really then is really one who thrives on seduction, which is massive instability,
Yes.
lots of energy,
Yes.
a vision or compelling dream.
You know what? When you were talking about the guy who's living out there, you were describing an entrepreneur. He doesn't fit anywhere because he's in his own world. He goes by his own music. Okay? He's never happy with anything. He's the guy who comes to the company, always finds something wrong. Always something has to be corrected. And people say, oh my God, here he comes. What is he going to find now? He's never happy, because if he's happy, there's nothing to correct. He has continuously to correct.
Okay. So now, the entrepreneur probably has real difficulty with the what may seem like a adolescent producer who just wants to keep producing.
Oh yeah, he has difficulty with everybody.
Okay, yeah, right.
That's the whole look. Because the four need each other, but they're so different. Conflict is normal and necessary.
So they go like that, and you got to bring them together.
That's right. And my job is to bring them together.
And that's to integrate. Now, in the model,
but I'm not dealing with the individual integrator. I'm dealing with the system that is integrated.
That's it. So, I was asked to meet with a CEO of a very famous multi-billion-dollar company. Before to meet with him, he wanted me to read 4 books. And they were on systems theory in business. And one of them was like almost systems theory for dummies. And I've been studying systems theory for 30 years, applying it there. And then it has to go beyond that. But one of the things it said is that you have 4 elements of system. You have the parts. You have the way they interact together. You have the purpose of the system also.
The what?
Purpose of the mission of the system. Now, you could change the parts, but if they don't interact differently, it's a problem. You could change the way they interact, but if you don't go to the purpose of the system.
But if you don't have a structure, the interaction is not working.
The whole order, how it all fits together.
It must be in order.
See what happens if you have your anus where your mouth is. It's a problem. Some people have it up here, right there. So here we go. So now, the integrator, to me, is fascinating because it seems to me like the producer binds energy to produce a product and get it out, which hopefully will liberate things for people. That the entrepreneur takes the unbound energy of the universe as a vague concept and then wants to make it into a bound ability and misses the mark because he needs the others there. That your administrator whole job is to bind everything up.
He's bounding it by manuals, mechanistically.
That's
the
right.
eye bounds it organically. That's the difference.
So they bind the energy to have more stability in the system, and the eye really provides the activation energy for the whole system to come together, because the eye always sees it as one whole system.
Now, but be careful. I don't have an eye person in the company. What I want to have, because you asked me about people, you remember? I want to have a PI, yes, boss.
So
I
the
want to
person
have
is able to.
AI, I want to have an EI.
Okay, so now, you know, it's interesting. I teach that the seasons discover where you have to discover how you cause pain but move it away from pain. Transform where you have momentum and take action, and you have goals of what you want to achieve. You have awaken where you become it's not about, it's about being, not creating. And the magic is integration, where I may say, you know what, I want to produce, but I want to make sure I'm compassionate the way I produce.
That's it.
I want to experience the pain, but I want to bless it when I'm experiencing it. When I first developed these 4 seasons based on 12 stages, I came with 3 seasons. And Jackie says, I said, and there was discover, where you're just realizing where the problem is, what's going on, and you want to move away from pain. A problem only exists in discover. When you move to transform now, it's only an opportunity. It's not a problem. And you have a goal and you move ahead.
Sure.
Same circumstance.
Sure.
You move to awaken, it's a gift. I said, I got all those 12 stages in these categories. It's really great. She says, no, there has to be a 4th. I said, what do you mean a 4th season? 4th. And she goes over, takes a piece of vinyl, and record player, and puts on the song, Big Girls Don't Cry. Now walk like a man. She put a walk like a man. He says, is this Frankie Valli with 3 seasons, Epstein, or is it 4 seasons? I said, it's a 4. She takes out a bag from the closet. It says 4 Seasons Hotel Resort. She says, what are you talking about? It says 4, not 3. There's a 4th season, it's the most important one. It pulls it all together. What is it?
That's right.
She said, you figure it out. So I said, okay, smart one. She says, my job to be the muse, your job to figure it out. So I said, okay. And I came up with the 4th season, the most important one, and it was integrate. So it's a winter day, but the sun's warm today.
Now listen what you just said. I was lecturing in Russia, it just occurred to me. Because somebody asked me a question, what's the future of management? What's the future of management? I really look at the future. It just occurred to me then to say the following. We started with being chimpanzees, then the agricultural society, then industrial society. The common denominator was muscle. The strongest guy, the strongest, that's why the wealth of nations was colonies, to own the maximum land, maximum. But then came the information society, which is where we are now. Uber has no cars, worth $100 billion. What does he have?
They're moving from bound to unbound.
Information.
Controlling and liberating.
That's wonderful. Let's continue. Brain. Uber is brain. Amazon is his brain. But now they're going to come with artificial intelligence. It's going to replace the brain. So what's the future? The heart. The future is in the heart. That's what I'm saying is how much love is in your company. The companies that are going to have more love are going to beat the shit out of the companies with all the artificial intelligence.
Because love is free energy.
Absolutely. But now let me ask you a question. Love is masculine or feminine?
Both.
For me. Let me tell you why.
Let me hear.
This finger is masculine energy. Do this, do this, do this, do this. This is feminine energy. Get them all together. Integrate. Now,
It's integration.
every human being has both, no question about it. And you can have a man very feminine, no problem. But I'm saying the feminine energy, I didn't say man or woman, the feminine energy is the future.
That's it. And not the gender, the energy of creation of feminine.
The future is in the feminine energy. And what I say in my lecture, they say, all you women, I have a lot of women in my lecture, don't think that the way to succeed in business is to act like a man. Stop. Use your femininity. That's where your strength is today. That is the future. The future is in the feminine energy, not in the masculine energy. We are moving, away from the brain to the heart. Now, a man that can have feminine energy, bravo, all in favor. But that's the future. That is the future.
And love is the energy that integrates.
Yes, love.
When did you start bringing love into corporate teachings?
Last month.
And
Totally new.
well,
I will tell you something else. Let's see how you take it. But maybe 7 years ago, I don't know, I was invited by 100 Jesuit priests to lecture about what is God to me. Here's what I came up with. All religions say God is in the heart. Love. God is love. What? What is love? Total integration. What is integration? Mutual trust and respect. Synergy and symbiotic relationship.
Coherence, efficiency of life.
No. You know what God is? Energy with a value system, with a formula.
Energy
with a formula. And the formula is everything has to be synergetic and symbiotic. Growthful, but interwoven. Not interwoven without growth. Look at this. We are all the same together. We are together, right? There is no growth here. You know what this is? Socialism, communism, racism. This is what we need. You know what? This is democracy. Why? Differences that can work together, which is synergy and symbiotic relationship. God is a formula. It is an operating system. It's not somebody sitting up there. That's all it is. And all of us are different applications of this operating system. So we are all the same, but we are different applications of the same operating system.
Yeah.
How do you think, how does the forest grow? Synergetically, symbiotically. How do you think you grow? Synergetically, symbiotically. Everything you see here is symbiotic and synergetic. That's what God is about.
in the season of discover, you want to avoid feeling like you're nobody because you experience being connected to nobody. In the season of transform, you want to prove you're somebody. And to do that, you have to connect to other people and create some synergy to produce what you want.
Some people that are different from you. That is important.
Well, as you work and to people a team, and then that would be an integrated transform. Then you get to awaken and you realize you are a nobody, but you're connected to everybody. And at that point, you recognize that community is not something that you develop. It's something you choose to participate with. It's already there.
Right.
And it's only through the celebration of diversity. That's it. At the end of the play, you see everyone stand up like this and go like that. And you see the villain holding hands with the hero and the victim. You see all of that, and they're holding hands together because you need every one of the characters to make the play.
So the whole idea is what I'm lecturing all over the world is this, not this. And we are going in this direction, unfortunately. The world is becoming more fascist than necessary. Either fascist or no socialism.
Well, that's because there's so much energy bound up in the system because people have worshipped the physical material stuff first in the body bound energy, and the only way bound energy is liberated with massive force or violence. And they figure if you bind enough energy, you'll finally feel joy or freedom. And the next tier of consciousness now, it's the invisible forces are the main thing. And everything comes from that. The high amount of energy to integrate. And that's what you're talking about. Get the energy integrated in the system, then we have a chance.
Let me ask you a question. You said energy is fixed at a point in time, but not over time. Mm-hmm. So now the question is, what gives energy?
Energy is a unit of change, and all energy eventually comes from the source, divine source, or on earth, the sun.
From love.
Love is expressed.
Love, God is love, so you know what gives you energy. I was asking a guy with the Nobel Prize in Physics, when I look at space, there is energy out there. Where did this energy come from?
What does he say?
He said it's fixed. He didn't have an answer. I was wondering, is the sun giving us energy? Where is the energy coming from? It's fixed. Now, I can tell you the religious explanation. Open the first chapter of the Old Testament, the creation. It says, the world was a mess, tohu vabohu. The Ruach Elohim of Ne'emayim, and the wind, the air of wind of God is there, hovering around. And then God created water, fire,
The breath.
but God was there all the time.
Right.
It was not created. See, he was there all the time. That's why he has no beginning, no end. So maybe this energy, when I ask, how was it created? It's a bullshit question. It was there forever. It's forever. That's why it's God. God is energy with a value system, which is mutual trust and respect. So how do we worship God? Not by going there and doing, giving a donation. That's a bullshit thing. It is, are we healing the world or not?
My way of seeing the world, which is this, I believe, is so similar, is my model of the world is first be a mensch. My father told me by the time you die, he said, Donny, he was a mensch. A good person does the right thing for the right reasons, not thinking of compensation or risk. Number two, tikkun olam. Repair or heal the world, not the person, not their circumstance, but the world.
Right.
Their place in the whole scheme of things.
Right.
The third is chutzpah. Have enough nerve, a chutzpah, to wake people up when they're asleep, to say the politically incorrect. Now, if you're a mensch and you don't care about repairing the world, it's still about you. If you're a mensch and want to repair the world but don't have the chutzpah, nothing really changes. And the fourth one is gratitude.
Oh,
And I see that this is my magic formula of life I go back
I love
to.
it.
And I see this is the way you live.
I love it.
Mensch,
Oh, well.
tikkun olam. Chutzpah?
No, I'm doing tikkun olam. I'm having enormous chutzpah, and I'm a mensch, but I don't have gratitude for some reason.
Gratitude is actually gratitude in this model is what helps integrate the love.
Right. I'm missing that. You know, the way I want to share with you, because you're talking about next world. I got a shaman from Peru, looked at me and says, you're scared of death. And I am. I have been from Second World War, I cannot even faint, I'm scared. I said, you have to experience death in order to discover love.
That's right.
In order to discover, because I told him, I want
Well,
to
you're discovering love now. You just have life-threatening transplant surgery.
I want love.
That's it.
So he said, you have to experience that. So he gave me an injection that they give in mental hospitals to paralyze a mental patient that goes wild and uncontrollable and they cannot control it. And I totally lost any sensitivity. Closed my eyes, I could not move a finger, could not move an eyelid, nada. Dominic, nada. Zero. De facto dead. I could see white lights. But then something very strange happened. I could feel him and his assistant. I could feel whether they like me or they don't like me. And when I came out of that experience, I was weeping like crazy because I said, now I know what hell and heaven is. Hell is you die, but you still feel, my friend. There is life after death. It's not a physical death, the life. It's a world of feeling. The soul is out there. The soul feels. My parents feel me. My grandparents feel me. All my ancestors feel. And I said, oh my God. Hell is I die. I'm surrounded by people that hate my guts for everything they have done. And now I cannot go. I cannot beg forgiveness. Nada. That's when our religion, you have to forgive the dead so they can live. Otherwise, they're stuck. The soul is stuck, asking forgiveness.
It's all asking for the free energy to liberation. Everyone wants our blessings.
Right. So, but heaven is when you die and you're surrounded by love.
That's it.
Now you can go. So I made a commitment at that point in time, changed my life. I'm going to search for love. And I want to love, 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 love. My children, thank God, love me dearly. I think my wife loves me, but she just saw this fucking Israeli accent. But, you know, my clients love me. I am working. I want to love and be loved before I die. So now, love is I want to love every tree. I want to love the water that is polluted. Love, that if we put love into our life, everything changes. Love heals. Why? Because it integrates. And integration is where the health is. When we're worried about somebody, what do we say? This guy is falling apart. And when we see somebody we're impressed, what do we say? Wow, this guy has it all together. Integration is the secret. And what I do to companies is how to integrate them. I align the subsystems. So I don't want to have too much E, not too much A, not too much P. It has to be aligned. The whole thing has to be aligned. Harmony is not one voice. It's different voices singing together.
Isha,